I'm Ramon, or as we know in Latin America, Ramon Antonio Escobar Garrido Zapata, or Ramon here in the US. My mom is from Colombia, my dad is from El Salvador, so I'm half and half. I was born in the United States in the South, Little Rock, Arkansas. I am gay, proudly gay, and I'm an executive in television news. I'm the vice president of a major cable news network. And my parents came to this country in 1963 because my dad wanted a better life that he knew he wasn't going to get in Latin America. And we were going to go to New York City, which is where a lot of immigrants were going back then. But before they were going to go to New York, my mom was going to visit her sister, her Colombian sister, who had married a doctor who had a full scholarship at a very small southern state called Arkansas. Lo and behold, they got snowed in. My dad lost his job in New York. They wouldn't keep it open. So my dad had no money, no job, and he was in Little Rock, Arkansas. So he went to the Catholic Church, had no other idea what to do as an immigrant who spoke no English. And the Catholic Church gave him a job as a janitor. And my mom, had my sister and then had me, and there we were, all three of us, growing up in Little Rock, Arkansas, which was not anything that they ever thought would happen. But I grew up in the South, and I grew up in the South where there were no Latinos, very few. I mean, I was in a situation where difference was being noticed, right? I mean, there was difference. And, my mom, who's so brilliantly smart, prepared me going in saying, listen, this is going to happen. Kids are going to point things out that might be different. And, she knew, like all of us know, that kids can be really mean. And, when you're a kid, difference not good. Right? When you're older, difference is great. We love difference. But when we're children, the last thing you want to be is ostracized, or you want to be like everybody else. So she was really preparing me. Well, she knew that she was preparing me to be Latino in a non-Latino world. But what she didn't know was she was preparing me to be gay in a world that at times wasn't very nice to gays. And so she did double duty that day. Coming out is a process. And a lot of times people forget how long the process is for many of us. All through high school, I knew by then my attraction to the same sex, and but I didn't want to deal with it. I remember, and I think this is still the case, society telling you, or you're sensing that this is not a good choice, right? But I knew that this wasn't a choice, right? But I kept saying to myself, we learn to rationalize, I think, as gay people many times, that rationalize our way out of, accepting who we are, right? And so this big discussion about, is it a choice? The only choice we make is to decide to accept ourselves.
And when.
Right? And how.
Yeah.
And it's a process, and it's a difficult process. I have great respect for when people come out. I don't ever think we should force people out. I think everyone has to make the decision on their own. We can help them. I've been known to help people. And I think a lot of us as gay people sometimes forget how long and hard the process is for us. But then when we decide, okay, we're set, we somehow believe everyone else
is going to be right there with you.
They got to be like on the same, it took us years, but you got 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And so I thought, so here I am with the books and this and that. Oh, read the books, you'll be fine. And you sort of underestimate the emotional impact and here's what I learned. And this is so important, I think, to kids to think about, because you don't think about it when you're a kid about these things. But your own parents, okay, they have a vision and an image of you and what's going to happen and how they envision a life for you, right? All parents have that. And when the parents find out that that vision that they had for you is not going to happen, it's hard. And my mom, when I told her I was gay, wouldn't stop crying. She just wouldn't stop crying. And that's really hard. I mean, it's really hard to sort of, watch that when I had in my own head how this was going to go. And after many, many weeks, I sat down with my mom again. And, my mom I remember my mom was like, there was a distance that she needed to have. And that was very painful to me, but it makes complete sense now, right? Because she needed to process this. And I asked my mom, why did you cry so much? Because that's what affected me so much. It's like, I felt hurt. Like, why, it's like, God, It's like, why do you cry so? You just wouldn't stop crying. And she said to me, because all I could do was imagine how hard your life is going to be. I understood what she meant. And what I said to her was, no, it won't. Because you prepared me. You know, you prepared me to be Latino in a non-Latino, in a white world. And, you know, and now you've prepared me to be gay. I said, don't worry about it. The most important thing that anybody can do who's gay is to come out. It's the single most important act that they must do, and that I feel very strongly about. I understand the old argument of folks who are, you know, young and might get thrown out of the house or might get, you know, cut off financially. I'm talking about people who are independent and have, you know, careers and I just think it's something that we have to continue to encourage people to do.